A caveman wakes up, eats breakfast. He cuts his 30th birthday cake at midnight and dies. Okay, not really. But if you were born 50,000 years ago, death follows you every time to take your signature on Death Note in the shape of Bigger Wolf or in the shape of your 24-hour rude boss. And weirdly, the thing most likely to kill you at age 2 was completely different from the thing most likely to kill you at age 20. And the thing that killed most adults wasn't any giant or toxic creature. We'll get to that later. The most dangerous creature in prehistoric life wasn't a saber-toothed tiger. It was being a baby. Before humans could hunt, before they could explore, before they could make terrible decisions, they first had to survive childhood. And childhood was brutal. Many babies never survived birth. Others faced disease, infections, hunger, and accidents. Today, a child gets sick and parents take him to a hospital. Back then, the hospital was basically good luck.
Even simple things were dangerous. A bad fever, dirty water, a small infection, or just lack of food. Things that are usually treatable today could become deadly. And that's why huge numbers of children never reached adulthood. But suppose you survive. Suppose you beat the hardest level in the game. Surely life gets easier now, right? Not even close. But anyways, congratulations. You've grown up. Which means the tribe now expects you to do all the dangerous stuff. Hunt animals, travel long distances, explore unknown places, fight enemies, and occasionally make decisions that can only be described as historically stupid.
This is the age when humans faced the world directly, and the world fought back. A hunting trip could last days. Food wasn't guaranteed. A harsh winter could wipe out entire groups. A river crossing could become a disaster. A predator attack could happen at any moment, even you have fire. Animals also got some upgrades that time, you know. But here's something strange. Even though mammoths, wolves, bears, and giant cats were terrifying, they weren't necessarily the biggest killer of adults. Something much smaller was. And honestly, it's kind of embarrassing. You couldn't even imagine about it. So, imagine you finally bring down a mammoth. The tribe celebrates, everyone gets food, you're the hero. Then 3 weeks later, you die because of a cut on your leg. Sounds ridiculous. Except that's exactly the kind of thing that happened. Because prehistoric humans had a problem. They could survive giant animals, but they couldn't survive bacteria. A small wound could become infected, a tooth infection could spread, a broken bone could leave someone unable to hunt. Today, these problems are just annoying. Back then, they were fatal. In many cases, the injury wasn't what killed you. The infection was. And if you somehow survived all that, you unlocked the final level. Level of the living legend. By this point, you're already a legend. Most people around you have been defeated by disease, accidents, predators, starvation, or pure bad luck. Now, your biggest enemy becomes time. Years of hunting have damaged your joints. Old injuries start coming back. Your body isn't as fast or strong as it once was. Every winter feels colder. Every hill feels steeper. And every time you stand up, something makes a sound it definitely shouldn't. But here's the surprising part. People who reached this age were incredibly valuable. They remembered migration routes. They knew where water could be found. They knew which plants were food and which plants were a one-way ticket to becoming a cautionary tale. Young hunters had strength. Old hunters had information, and information keeps tribes alive. Let's go back to our caveman. He survives childhood. He survives hunting. He survives disease. He survives winters. He survives everything the world throws at him. Then he looks around. Half the people he grew up with are gone. Not because they reached 30, because many never reached 10. And that's when the whole humans only live to 30 thing starts falling apart. Imagine a tribe where 5 people die as children and 5 people live to 60. The average age suddenly crashes, even though nobody actually died at 30. The shocking part? A prehistoric human who reached adulthood had already beaten the hardest part of life. Turning 30 wasn't the achievement, making it to 15 was. Everything after that was bonus content. So if a prehistoric human reached adulthood, they'd already beaten the deadliest part of life. If they survived hunting, disease, starvation, injuries, and brutal winters, they could live far beyond 30. The real challenge wasn't surviving as an adult, it was surviving long enough to become an adult. And in a world that was constantly trying to kill you, that was one hell of an achievement.
And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this completely unnecessary journey through whatever chaos just happened, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next adventure. Got another crazy what-if question? Drop it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe we'll accidentally answer it next. Until then, stay curious, stay weird. See you in the next one.